Hi, I'd like to talk about the mind. I've not read anything or done anything or researched this. This is just my take on it. Hope you find it enjoyable. And the main thing is it's to challenge your mind. I've been posting on YouTube Aikido, many Aikido talking films, and I want to expand into talking about the other things that I do. And I've started a Patreon site where people contribute, and I go into depth, and hopefully the program will make it enjoyable for those taking part. But this one I'd like to talk about general people. Anybody can listen to this and it may help you. You don't have to be a martial artist. It can be just for the general human being. I'm going to call it the four minds. And how do I see the four minds? In no particular order. We can have the adult mind, the child's mind, the ego mind, the subconscious mind. The subconscious mind may get a little complicated for those once I get there. But at the moment, I'd like to talk about the adult mind. We may wake up in the morning, and if it's not a work day, I think I'll go for a ride on my bike. I think today I'll read that book that I've got. I'll go for a run. I'm going to tidy the house. I should do some sewing, knitting. I'm going to go out and do photography. This is, to me, the adult mind. We decide what we're going to do that day, and we try and accomplish it. Sometimes things get in the way and we don't quite achieve what we want, but that's, to me, the normal, straightforward adult mind that we all have and should be able to relate to easily. The child's mind may be forgotten about now by the adult. Doesn't matter whether you're male, female. You know, we forget what it was like to be a child. And that the child says many things that an adult would feel embarrassed to say. But really those childhood thoughts or insecurities may have bled into the adult. For argument's sake, if you were to go and sit on a park bench, cross your legs, sitting there on the park bench, closing your eyes, pretending, I think I'll just meditate. I say pretend because you know you're going to get disturbed. It'll feel people will walk by and think how odd you are. That possibly will disturb you. That will be perhaps coming from the child's mind. But what about the honesty? The child says something, doesn't realise that what they've said would never be said by an adult. They ask questions, don't they? Why did you do that? What does that mean? An adult say, oh, they're learning, they're gaining knowledge. If we could keep that child mind into adulthood and not be so frightened of speaking out when we think that we should speak out, or perhaps doing silly things that an adult may not do, I'm not going to say any particular thing, because it's up to you to decide what you consider maybe rebellious or silly that an adult would do that may seem childish to others. Then we've got the ego mind. I remember when I used to smoke and drink, after a few drinks, even though trying to give up smoking, the ego mind would say, why shouldn't you have a cigarette if you want one? You can have one. You know, you work hard, you don't have to be governed by rules. Have a cigarette. Okay, I will have one. Have another drink if you want one. Or, if somebody tells you what to do, you might say it's stubbornness. It might just be the ego mind saying, I'm not being told what to do by them. Where's the compassionate mind? We don't seem to have that, but perhaps that's the subconscious mind. How many times have you said, yes, I knew that was wrong to do that, but I done it anyhow. Something was telling me that not to go out today, but I did. I had a feeling I should go another way today. I don't know what it is about that, but there's something telling me, take a different route. Or, today I've got a feeling I should be aware. I don't know why, but I feel that I might be a little bit vulnerable today. It's something telling me to take care. The subconscious mind is very clever, very knowledgeable, but we don't listen to it much. We don't listen to the child mind, do we? That we had all those years ago in my case. Well, if they're all within us, why not bounce from one to the other? Why don't you choose? Perhaps today, ask the subconscious, should I read a book? And all of a sudden, if you get a guilt feeling, perhaps you should learn to meditate. What is that guilt feeling for? Has it been inbred over the years? Perhaps it has. A lot of people don't do things because they feel guilty. Those that don't feel guilty, is it because they deserve to have a day off? Is it the ego mind saying, you deserve a day off, do what you like? Is that being stubborn? The compassionate internal mind of the subconscious will only be kind to you. It will only advise you on what perhaps you wish to consider for your own good, for your own best interest. So to me, we have 4 minds. And then, as I say, in no particular order, the ego mind, the child mind, the adult mind, the subconscious mind. If you were religious, it may be called your soul. And it knows everything about you. It knows your weaknesses. It knows your strengths, even though you may not think you have strengths. Or perhaps your ego mind tells you you have a lot of strengths. I hope this will help you to just consider those minds that I've talked about. And if you wish to know more and go deeper, perhaps you'd like to join me on my Patreon site, The details are below. Thank you for your time.